Love to you all! Welcome to see you again, you wonderful people, joining me here, Preach Gaming HQ, this tiny little bedroom. Yeah, that's what we like to see. It's not actually that tiny. It's pretty cheap, actually. It's got a couch. It is the man cave. It is the ultimate man cave. Everybody who comes here is jelly fucking beans, which is awesome. That's the way it should be. This is my fucking job, right? This room is just the gaming central. Everybody who comes here wants to play a game. They're like, can I play something? I'm like, no, motherfucker, you're a noob. No noobs are welcome within the shrine, okay? Noobs can go sit over there. Everyone else belongs in here. Gamers only. Gamers only. What a day. Loads to talk about, actually, which is cool. Loads to talk about. I haven't had my shower, so if I touch my face, it's because I had an emergency shave. I was looking rather disheveled, and I haven't had time to have my shower, which I always have before the daily. It wakes me up. It freshens me up. But I am having monster withdrawal. Hey, this is pretty fucking serious, okay? I was up to like a can of Monster a day. I know. It's bad. We were getting them cheap. We got like cheap Monster, cheaper than the shops by a long way. So we had lots of it, especially over New Year. Me and Ghost put together and got like 2 cases of Monster. And so we stopped for New Year. We're like, no more Monster. We're done with it. I'm seriously having like a withdrawal thing. It's fucking scary. I'm like genuinely like... Ugh, it's weird. It feels odd, but I slept like a baby last night. I did. I slept in like the best condition ever. I was like, oh, so relaxed. It was brilliant. It was really cool. So I'm glad to be coming back to Earth, which was cool, which is really cool. But today I capped my Mage. Yes, I did. I capped my Mage. I took time out of my life. Been playing a lot of games recently, actually. In between filming The Way of the Warrior, which is quite intense. Filming and editing The Way of the Warrior is a very intense procedure, so playing games is a really good way to relax. And as you know, or some of you may know, our second channel is coming shortly, which is all about gameplay. Just me, Ghost, and Emma playing games. Yeah, me, Ghost, and Emma playing games, which is cool to get Emma involved because she's funny when she plays games. And plus, you guys can share in the frustration of watching Emma play a game. It's like watching... It's literally like someone's constantly scratching a chalkboard. So you guys can enjoy it too. You should have fun with that. You should have fun with that. So we're doing that. We've been playing a lot of games, a lot of wrestling, a lot of Wii stuff. I'm fucking so in love with Nintendo right now. It's retarded. But I managed to cap my Mage. I was kind of desperate to cap it, which is why I decided to do it. I wanted to know how bad are those level 90 talents. Who came up with them? Who are you? Are you Brad? Is this Brad's doing? Who came up with these fucking talents? Who are you? What is wrong with you? Who said that was okay? Who said mages really wanted to stop DPSing on a regular basis? Who did that? Why was this approved? Which meeting took place? Are you fucking crazy? Are you absolutely fucking crazy? Literally the moment I capped, I looked at the talent, so I was like, fine, I'm level 90, went and got my flying mount. Duh, you don't do anything before that. You don't even spec. You're like, I want my flying mount now. I'm fucking sick of riding around the dread waste, dodging those claxy fucking bastards all the time. But we'll get to that shortly. So I went and got my flying mount, and then I looked before I went into the Arena of Annihilation to get my wonderful staff. Why not give us a choice? A staff or a dagger? Because you know what I'm going to pick? A fucking dagger every day of the week. You bastards. A fucking staff. So I went to get my staff, which was amazing. And I was like, right, I need to choose my level 90 talents. What to choose? Because the choices are just so amazing. What the hell do I choose? Phone is on silent. Loser. What to do? And it's like... Rune of Power. I'll go with Rune of Power. Why not? I will be the Rune of Power guy. Arena of Annihilation, I'm unlikely to have to move, right? Yeah, Arena of Annihilation. Every fucking, what, like 45 seconds I have to recast that shit? Annoying. And then we get into a 5-man where we got supported on my first 5-man heroic by a very overgeared tank who has cleared all the progression. Wonderful Ammon, a member of our community, who has cleared all the heroic progression in the game. So he decided to come on his main and tank for us, which meant a speed clear. Do you know what annoys me about speed clearing? Mages suck at it unless you are really, really determined to do well, which I was. I'm always fucking determined to do well. So Off I go with Invocation. Evocating all the fucking time. I'm like the first to the mobs, and then I fucking start evocating while people run past me. Fuck you. Seriously, fuck you in the ass. What awful level 90 talents. I've never seen anything as bad as, hey, I've got a shitload of procs up, but my fucking evocate is about to run out, or my fucking rune of power is fading. Everything lines up at the worst time. You go into somewhere like Stormstout Brewery and you need to evocate, you're down to that point, and the fucking boss casts something on you that silences you. So now not only have you spent so much time casting evocation, it then stops you getting the buff. You move out of the silencing shit on the floor and recast evocate again. And then sometimes it's on cooldown, so you're just fucking stuck there with no buff up. You've wasted like 10 seconds of your DPS time fucking about with your supposed awesome level 90 talent. Kiss my ass. Seriously, kiss my fucking ass, whoever decided those things. You are a prick. A total prick. I want you to know that. You're an absolute prick. You should die. You should fuck off and die. So, capping. How... Okay. Here's a question. Who has done all of the Dreadwaste quests? I want to see in the chat right now. Who's done all of the Dreadwaste quests? Who's done them all? Who's got, like, lore mastered the shit out of the Dreadwaste? I want to know. You. So then you have done... the quest. It might even be a daily. I'm not sure. This is how much I give a fuck. This is how many fucks I give about dailies. I don't know if this is a daily. Where you fight those mobs that look like the first boss in Stone Core. You know, the rocks that spin? The spinny rocks, and you have to collect shards off them. They're made of rock, right? They're covered in shards. They are, by their very nature, a large shard. A pellet, of you will, of dog shit. And they don't fucking drop. At all. You motherfucker, whoever, it is a daily, right? It's a fucking joke. I literally was in a race against Vinny Bear, right? A wonderful member of our community. I was in a race with Vinny Bear. He was at 86%, I think, till level 90. I was about 20% in. But I know, I'm like pretty fast at leveling, right? So I was like, I'm gonna fucking beat him. I got to 90%, and he was like, I'm at 98%. So I was like, oh, well, it's lost. But I just turned in like 11 quests at the Claxy. So it gave me these dailies to go off and kill these fucking things. 25 minutes later, I'm still after 6 of the motherfuckers. You goddamn asshole. I was so frustrated. I'm getting shackles. The shackle quest, is that also a fucking daily? Eh? The shackle quest, is that a daily? I killed 30 guys who are bound to chopping fucking rocks, and they apparently do not have any shackles. They are there by fucking choice, sewn up by mysterious things to bang on fucking rocks. There is nothing worse in this whole fucking game than quest items that do not drop. Questing isn't that amazing, right? Because it's shackles, that's not mega exciting to me. Oh, go and get some shackles. Okay. That's not mega exciting for me. Why are these guys fighting me back? They're shackled. By the very nature of the quest, they are shackled to attack rocks. Why are they attacking me? You fucking assholes, right? Just give me your fucking shackles. I'm freeing you. Actually, no, I'm slaughtering you and taking your shackles, you prisoner. What? What is this? What am I doing in this game? Why am I collecting shackles from people who want to kill me? Why am I fucking freeing them? I don't give a fuck. Oh. There was only one quest I've ever done that was worse than the quest I did today. And it is in Arathi Basin. And it is to collect Raptor Eyes. The Raptor Eye quest is notorious for anybody who ever played vanilla, pretty much. I think it was even still the same in the Burning Crusade. Right? Raptor Eyes. They had the lowest drop rate of any quest in the fucking game. The eyeballs of a raptor. What are they seeing me with? Why do they not drop? Are these blind raptors? What's going on here? How can they fucking find me? Why do they not drop? What the shit is going on? It drives me fucking crazy. Oh, man. So, yeah, it was actually a really fun day. I did get to play my mage. I'm actually going to stream directly after the daily. Some 5-mans. Why the hell not? I'm going to be doing them anyway, so I'll stream them with you guys so you can get a couple of heroics together. But I had to get it out of my system because I was so annoyed. I needed literally 10% to level. 10%. And I did some awesome quests before that. Especially, I loved the shit with Dog in the water and the slipstreams. Such an ingenious idea in the water. I mean, water quests by their very nature suck dick. There's no doubt about that. But slipstreams that carry you faster, collecting teeth out of sharks, I can kind of get by it. It kind of feels like the Dreadways, the ways where they gave up. It's like we were talking about the games where you feel like the devs just kind of lost interest at a certain point. Dreadways feels like that to me because everything else before there, you're rolling barrels in like the town-long steps. You're like riding down fucking barrels of beer and blowing shit up. And then you get to the Dreadways and you're pulling out shark teeth. There's like one quest that has even a minimal amount of cutscene. You know, shit like that. They kind of just were like, the Dreadway sucks. We know it sucks, but we've built it, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we supposed to do? It sucks. Yeah, I know it sucks, but what are we going to do? That meeting must take place. It's like, the Dreadway isn't fun. Yeah, I know, but what can we do? It's got this whole Shah theme going on. Well, you could make quests that don't involve freeing shackled prisoners by killing them. Perhaps that's a good way to go. Perhaps things that are made of shards of rock drop shards of rock. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Fucking a-holes. So I'm going to be practicing on the Mage a little bit. I'm not convinced I'm going to switch to it as my main. I'm seriously annoyed by just the stupid shit that is involved with those level 90 talents and how mandatory they are. I really just do not get it at all, whoever decided that. You compare it to... Look, Warlock ones are the easiest comparison. The Warlock ones might be shit, but they kind of serve a purpose and they don't spoil your gameplay. The level 90 Mage talents legit spoil your gameplay. For me, anyway. They actually ruin what I'm doing. They actually make it less fun to play. It's like, you capped! It's now less fun to play. How awesome is that? Oh, you want this talent? It's less fun to play. You want this one? That's even less fun to play. You want this one? It's a waste of time. Don't bother. So it's just like, why have you fucking done this? I don't fucking get it. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, Paladins have the best stuff. Yeah, as Nova says, why don't we just not use the 25% DPS increase? No idea. No idea why we don't use a 25% spell damage increase. Can't think of a reason. Genuinely cannot think of a reason. Eludes me. Eludes me. Okay, Mufasa Prime, you sexy bastard. Oh, love it. It's a shame you don't like Locke anymore. I'm loving mine. Good, good, good. Yeah, priests have got good talents. I think most people have better talents than fucking mages. Seriously, mages should... Whoever designed that, I want to hump him anally twice so he knows the pain I'm feeling. Do you know what I mean? Dry. I'm going in dry, but he's definitely fucking getting it. He's definitely getting it. Let's talk about yesterday. Guilds are changing. 25 man's all the change. What's going to happen? I've actually brought up the YouTube video because you guys posted lots of comments with all suggestions and stuff. And I actually was talking about it in-game with various people about the ideas that what could be happening. All I can pretty much guarantee is that whatever's happening, lots of people are not going to like. And I think the people who will like it the least are going to be the hardcore guilds, which makes me really sad. This could result in something really, really bad happening for hardcore guilds. I kind of got this gut feeling that's what's going to happen, is that this could really fuck up the endgame guilds. I mean the 25 man, so your vodkas, your blood legions, your methods. This could really screw their balls up a little bit. I've got an idea. I don't know what it is. Just a gut feeling. So some of the ideas you guys were posting, I was asking you to leave your ideas. What the hell do you think is going to happen? Because something's coming. Something's happening. First comment, the Wii U may be less powerful. Look, right. I know I briefly mentioned that the Wii U was a fail. It was. I'm sorry, it is. If you own one, that's cool. I actually think they look fantastic. I do. I want to play a Wii U. The fact of the matter is, on Wii U launch weekend, it was outsold by Xbox 360 and PlayStation more than 2 times over. That's a fail. Because those things have been out for nearly a decade, right? That's a fail. It's not my fault that loads of people didn't buy the Wii U. It really isn't. It really isn't. So don't get all touchy about it. The numbers speak for themselves. I'm not trying to hurt you because you bought one. I actually want one. As I just said, I love Nintendo. I really do. I cannot get enough Nintendo. Especially right now, I'm loving Nintendo. I'm loving chilling on the couch with the console with Ghosty and Emma. I love that. It's really not my fault, so don't hate on me for it, right? It's not my problem. I didn't do it. Okay. So some of you are confused about Cross Realms raiding, so let's touch on that. Cross Realm raiding works for previous tiers, all very well and good. It certainly doesn't work for heroic and stuff, so that's kind of okay. One question that we didn't really cover is, why is there a problem? Why is there a problem with 25 and 10 man? I don't see a big problem out there. I don't see a big problem. I don't see that. It's not really that prevalent. Does anybody know what the problem is with 25 man raiding? Does anybody know? I'm interested. Do you guys know? We're talking about this extensively. We're going to talk about this for probably another day or so. But do you guys know what the problem is? I want to know. I'm interested. I can't get in one. Most of the 25 man guilds are going 10 man because 10 man is easier to put together. First part is correct. I don't agree with the second part. Gothic's like, I know, I'm just not telling you. I know the answer, I'm just not going to tell you what it is. It's not 40 man, that's the problem. Kind of agree. A 25 man guild will often take their top 10 players to drop the weak players. Kind of getting there. Not many guilds rating 25 man, very close. No incentive to go 25. Okay, so people are skirting around the issue. Maybe you guys are correct. I ain't saying I'm right. Pretty obvious, right? I'm not always correct. The problem is this. 25 man is a dying breed. And that sucks. And it sucks if you're Blizzard as well. Why? Because 25 man looks better, sells more games in general. Every time they don't do a lot of 10 mans on the BlizzCon stage, right? There's not many 10 man guilds gracing the stages at BlizzCon for a live raid. It's the 25 man guilds. For a good reason. It looks cooler. A lot more going on. And in general, gotta tell you, hell of a lot more fun. In my opinion, just overall more fun. Loads more gangsters. Loads more people having a great time. 25 man should be better. But people are stopping playing. The main issue isn't actually that 25 man isn't as rewarding. It is. 25 man rewards more loot in general, and it's just overall kind of easier, in my opinion, in certain ways, okay? In some ways it's harder. In more ways it's easier than a 10 man. The problem is this. There aren't that many raiders coming through the ranks at all. And in fact, it's slowed down dramatically since Which expansion? Which expansion killed the idea of new raiders? Probably some of you who have got new to the game. Maybe not because you're following my channel, but more maybe because you're probably interested in raiding. But what's going on? Kata? No. Wrath of the Lich King, of course. Wrath of the Lich King killed the idea of new hungry raiders coming through. It really sort of... I mean, if you've ever been kicked in the balls by, like, a little girl, not because you're trying to do anything weird, I should probably change the subject, right? If you've ever been kicked in the balls, in any way whatsoever, then that's what basically happened to raiding in Wrath of the Lich King for the new players. There used to be hungry young players. The Burning Crusade was a big idea for this. You had Illidan, want to kill him. You had Vash, want to kill her. You had Kael'thas, want to kill him. You had Kil'jaeden. You had just all these fucking guys who were super epic cool, and loads of guys who saw other people playing, new players join the game and like, wow, Illidan looks badass. Yeah, this looks badass. Yeah, but it's tough. You got to work your way up to that. You got to get cool. Then of course Naxxramas dropped. I've seen that before. So not only have you seen it before, it was super fucking easy. Big problem. This huge decline in hungry young raiders. You then had Ulduar, which kind of peaked, but nobody really had ever heard of Yogg-Saron. And let's face facts. Yogg-Saron looks like hashtag dog shit, right? Yogg-Saron looks terrible. Yogg-Saron is the worst looking boss ever. For an end boss, my god. And he does that laugh. The madness will consume you. Yeah, whatever. Yogg-Saron's a terrible looking boss. You can't stick Yogg-Saron on the front of a gaming cover. Kil'jaeden, easily. Illidan, easily. Lady Vash, easily, right? Kael'thas, definitely. You can stick those bastards on the front of a game. You stick Yogg-Saron and it looks like a mouldy fanny. It's not going to work. It looks like a big flapping clam that's gone rotten. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. So Ulduar, although a much better raid, especially for raiders, it was just not that perceived well, right, by younger players. It just wasn't perceived that well. So again, we had this stunted growth of new, interesting raiders. Then, the Trial of the Crusader. Trial of the Crusader. What happened there? What happened with Trial of the Crusader? Whose idea was that? You know, at the beginning, I was kind of looking forward to Trial of the Crusader, being in a Colosseum. How could you not forge ideas of being like Russell Crowe in the middle of the arena, you know? It's going to be pretty cool. What did we get? Lord Jaxaris. Alright, that's pretty cool. We get a giant ice howl. Oh, a big version of that shitty mob that we kill all the time. That's going to be cool. 2 rock dudes. Alright. Whatever. Yeah, the 2 worms, a stupid snow. Oh, I've got snowballs on me. It's like, oh my god, snowballs? Shit. Things just got serious. Am I right? No. No, I'm not right at all. So Trial of the Crusader, massive disaster. ICC, wonderful instance. ICC is a fantastic instance all around. But you've lost too many people by then. We're talking 10 months down the line. Fucking people are just dropping left and right. So we lost this an entire expansion of new upcoming raiders. And now we had people who were the newer players who breathe life into the game. It's not the older players that breathe life into this game because they tend to segregate themselves off with other older players. It's the new blood that comes through. The new, interesting players who have a motivation and are young and are hungry and want to see this new content and are willing to learn. But we lost that. We had a lot of new players with no willingness to learn and no reason to. They didn't need to learn. So we've got a lot of players right now who are lost. They're like, oh my god, what the hell do I do now? So 25 man inevitably cannot replace the needed ranks in order to keep going as a 25 man, especially when you have the option to go 10. This is the issue. If it was just 25 man, the people would be found. But you have the option to go 10, an option we didn't really have before. So over time, 25 mans have started to, because all guilds have problems, that's normal, I've decided to take the easier course of action, which is, well, let's just go 10 man. We'll go 10 man with 20 people. People filter off and disappear, and you're left with 10 man. So more and more this is happening. It's not really because 25 man isn't rewarding, because it is. It's not because it's more fun. It is. It is in my opinion anyway. It's more down to, it's just easier when your guild runs into problems to go to 10 man than rather stick it out and be 25. Let's face fucking facts, guys. When it was 40 man, we still filled those ranks. It could be a 100 man raid, but if that's the only choice, you will find 100 gangsters. You will do it. But once you have the option, and an easy option, to not actually wait for new recruits, we don't need to do applications. We can actually just go straight to 10. Easy, right? And it is. If you look at any of the really top guilds now, the big progressing hardcore guilds, they're just amalgamations pretty much of older, bigger guilds that have all gradually died. You remember guilds like Forte? Remember guilds like Forte? Hell, fucking Insidia. All those players have just filtered down into other guilds as they've been chopped and dropped down. I remember when Forte died. That was a terrible day. I think it was during Sunwell. Forte was a magical guild. Really cool. I loved following them. And then they just died and disappeared, and the players filtered off into other guilds. And then those guilds die and they filter off, and we get left with 20, 30 guilds that are just what's left of these good old school players who are still hungry to raid, or still raid because it's part of their culture. So this is what the problem is. 25 mans are dropping like flies and just going 10. That's the problem. Nothing else. And there's nobody to fill these 25 mans because the 10 option is so much easier. It is, and it's so appealing to just take the easy way out. In fact, most guilds believe by dropping from 25 to 10, they will have much better progress because they will pick the 10 best of the best. And then ultimately that kind of doesn't work out. Some guilds do it well, but most guilds don't really do that, which is a shame. So we need to fix this. We need to incentivize 25 mans. So your ideas, I'll just go with a few of these. Oh, by the way, the Way of the Warrior 2 is coming. I did talk about it on the New Year's Daily, but I didn't upload it. But it is coming. We've got a lovely voice actress coming. And she's coming tomorrow, I believe, hopefully. And she's doing some stuff that is involved in episode 1. So I kind of need her to be here. That's really it. But it's looking good, guys. It's looking good. I kind of keep changing the story midway to add more epic scenes that I'm not capable of filming. That's just the kind of guy I am. So we're saying they need to sort of dispense with the balance issue of which is harder. and just ultimately say, okay, this one will be harder, and maybe tweak the instance thusly. Do you think it's more appealing to make 25-man distinctively harder without many rewards? I am pretty sure of one thing, and I could be wrong, I often am, is that they will not be giving better loot to 25-man guilds. I'm not saying they won't give more of the same loot. What I'm saying is they will not give better loot, a different item level, to 25-man guilds. I don't think that's going to happen. Therefore, they can't say 25-man is harder and change it. They could come out and say 25-man is the more difficult version and perhaps even nerf 10-man. That doesn't really appeal to make more 25-man guilds. It will to some players who want to say I've completed the hardest of the hardest content, but it's not going to appeal to the majority. And we have a majority of people who want easier content. So I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I really don't. Where was the other one? More Valor points from 25-man? That's not controversial. When Blizzard tells us there's something controversial coming, it means it's going to be very much disliked. I don't think it's the Valor points one. I don't think the Valor points would be that controversial, especially after they recently changed it. People haven't got much of a problem. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that. What was the other one? Some of those people were talking about the possibility of there being 2 progression paths that we discussed. There'd be a 25-man set of raids and a 10-man set of raids. I've gone more off that idea being possible, as much as I would like to see it. I've gone more away from that being possible because it excludes 10-man. I don't think they want to exclude 10-mans, considering that is probably the larger majority of the player base that's raiding is 10-man. It needs to be... The idea has got to be 10-mans merging. That's what's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen is going to cause the merging of 10-man guilds into 25-mans. That's what's going to happen. So if you're in a 10-man guild right now, you should probably start looking. If any of you are in there, I know we get all kinds of fucking players. We get players in this chat who are World First Raiders, who are Progression Raiders, who are casual players, and new players. If you are in a 10-man progression guild, you should probably start looking for another 10-man to merge with or looking to recruit. Because whatever's going to happen, it's going to be better to be 25-man. I'm pretty sure. In whatever fashion it can be, it's going to be based on that. Different progression paths would be great, I think. But I can't see that happening because it excludes 10-man. So I'm kind of going off that as a possible idea. I don't even think it's a possible idea. Especially after we've seen the new instance. You guys seen the new instance today? Apparently it's Shadowfang Keep. I mean, it's called something else. What's it called? Throne of the Wind? Shadowfang Throne of the Wind? Throne of the Shadowfang. Oh, Throne of Thunder. Throne of Thunder. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's definitely not Shadowfang King. Shadowfang Keep. It's definitely not. I'm sorry, but that is fucking Shadowfang Keep in my eyes. It almost looks exactly the same. It looks kind of like Mogashun Keep. Is what it looks like to me. It just looks like Mogashun Keep with a Blackwing Lair room in it. It's not inspiring. It's not Ulduar, is it? It's not Ulduar. When we saw the pictures of Ulduar, that was cool. These pictures look fucking terrible. These pictures look fucking terrible. So that's alright. So, the other idea that was mentioned to me today by a progression raider, by someone who has killed the Shah of Fear Heroic, is that they're going to basically say, and come out and do it, and say, 25-man is now considerably easier. So I want to gauge your reaction to that. 25-man going completely much easier. That 25-man is in fact the easiest path to go. What do you think of that? Let me see. No? But don't just say yes or no. What good to me is yes or no? Why? Because it attracts a lot more people to the easier content. No, don't just say no. Fucking no. Jesus. No. It is, isn't it? Yes or no? Vanish hit the nail on the head with my immediate reaction. I'll talk about it later. So LFR, like LFR. Okay. Yeah, so... Okay, so now it's turned into the classic discussion of which is easier anyway. Which is always wonderful. Raven's like, what was the question? What are we talking about? I don't know. What's the discussion here? Okay. Now, this was an interesting suggestion, I thought, at first. My immediate reaction is, Bye-bye 25-man heroic guilds. Bye. Bye, gone instantly. If this was the case. Not saying it is. However, it's a possibility, I think. I think it is a possibility. There's a couple of problems with it long-term, but I don't think Blizzard has gauged long-term reaction for a little while. They try to, but maybe not from the right perspective. And I'm not saying I'm better than Blizzard. That would be idiotic. My immediate reaction was that would kill 25-man heroic guilds. Absolutely destroy them in the face. Do I think they care that much about that very, very, very tiny percentage of players? I think they do. I think they do. I think there has to be a defense made for the 25-man heroic guilds for exactly that. They showcase their game in the best light. They do. At Gamescom, they had Method on the main stage, which was wonderful to see. They had a crowd of a couple of thousand people, I'd like to say, and was really wonderful until they wiped on Nefarian Heroic. Oh, JK. Not really. It was funny. And BlizzCon again, they have the 25-man guilds on there, and they have them doing that. And it's all like... they showcase the game in the best possible light. They do. The best players, 25 of them, thrown against their best-looking encounters. Everything looks really cool. Everything looks awesome. Is it better for the game, though? Ooh, I don't know, you know. I don't know. I really don't know. If 25-man was considerably easier, could it drop the same loot? It shouldn't do. Would they let it happen? Maybe. Maybe they would. I don't know. I think this is an interesting idea. There's so much fewer 25-man guilds now that it's a debatable topic of making it easier. If they say 25-man is the easier action to take, they could say it. This would be the hilarity. They could say 25-man is easier. They could say that, like open statement, 25-man is easier content, and then there will be that boss. You know the one. That fucking boss that is considerably harder on 25-man. Kind of like the opposite of Halphus Wormbreaker. If you ever did Halphus Wormbreaker Heroic in its original incarnation, the difference between 10 and 25 was outrageous. I mean, it was one of the easiest bosses ever on 25-man. And on 10-man, it was one of the most difficult fucking bosses ever. There will be that boss that is the equivalent of that 25-man just really struggled with. Some people could say Alakir Heroic was like that because of just the space on the platform. Alakir Heroic is one of the bosses that springs to mind. That it was kind of more difficult on 25-man than it was on 10. 25-man easier. I had to think about this one. I really did. It's an intriguing concept to say, look, more players in there, it's going to be easier content. It's definitely going to allow... You know what it is? You know why I'm not saying this is impossible? Although everything in me says it's a bad idea. I want to get that out immediately. I don't like the idea. I don't want to see the 25-man heroic guilds be crushed to death under the weight. They could do 25-man normal is considerably easier. 25 heroic is as hard as it will be. That's pretty cool. But there's a large step there for progression guilds. Basically, you could have a lot of guilds clearing 25 normal, being unable to do 25 heroic. The reason I'm saying this could happen is because a lot more people would have a hell of a lot more fun in World of Warcraft. As simple as that. And I'm not saying it'll be as easy as LFR, although God knows what kind of difference it would be. But thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands of players would have a hell of a lot more fun rolling with 25 people, just having a generally better time. And then you've got these sort of 10-man things sort of working away on progression. So it's, yeah, Conclave of Wind was another example. The opposite way. I'm trying to look for something that was harder. Hang on. You've blown my brain. Something that was much easier on 25-man than it was on 10. Incredibly difficult. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. So we need to understand this. Nothing so far has said to me that's a good idea. But does that mean that what we're going to get is going to be a good idea? Have they possibly thought of something that we just don't know? Is it something as silly as the Valor Point change? Could be. Would that be that controversial if 25-man got a lot more Valor Points? I don't know. There's a weekly Valor cap anyway. Who gives a shit, right? So it's kind of like, what could this be? The 25-man becoming considerably easier? So far, as much as I hate it, I absolutely hate it, it seems likely. But hell, you know, I could be completely wrong. I could be totally wrong. Anyway, we're going to leave that there. So any more discussion you want to leave it on the YouTube channel for some comments. There's a story I wanted to bring up. which I thought was pretty cool. It's Drama Friday tomorrow. You have not sent a single story, so we could have... I'm sure I'll make one up. And it's something that was sent to me saying, I'm that really bad elitist that everybody hates. So how many of you hate elitists? Why do I even wait for you to respond? Alright? Alright? Hey, look, don't take it all seriously. Don't really sorry. So, yeah. I'm that really bad elitist that everybody hates. So, I'm sending a little request for help, was the actual thing. This is a question, so obviously it'll remain anonymous, as all your stories do. They remain completely anonymous. But let me give you some background. I started WoW in April 2011, when I leveled up in a cesspool guild and tried to raid with them. I sucked a lot. Okay? I was that guy who did 6k and wasn't hitting any buttons. No wonder... Hey, the first step to doing DPS is to press your attacking spell. You heard it here first. Preach Gaming, advanced gaming tips for the future. Press your spells, you'll do more damage. JK, I'm just kidding. I wasn't hitting any buttons, doing shit DPS, and was complaining that we were wiping. Since then, I've been through various normal mode guilds until I joined my first heroic guild in patch 4.3, which I was removed from 3 months later for being a dick. At least you're honest, right? You were being a dick, so they kicked you. Yeah, you're a dick, so you're going. That's cool. I then jumped from guild to guild until I found my current guild, which is 5 out of 6 heroic in the Mogashon Vaults. I will say I got this email a few weeks ago. I do keep your emails, by the way. I started quite an elitist thread on MMO Champion, where I was politely told that I was shit. Of course, hey, if you're going to post an MMO Champion, be ready. Be fucking ready, right? That was where my Problem in the Mist video was posted, and I was the rose-tinted goggled asshole. Which you guys obviously know better. This guy's got rose-tinted goggles. I loved reading that thread. It was awesome. And to go learn to play and join a real raiding guild. 5 out of 6 heroic. This is where you go with your 5 out of 6 heroic progression, and the guy with 1 out of 6 normal mode that he fell into tells you to go and get a real guild. Oh, you fucking scrub. Go and get a real guild, right? I love that. I love that about any WoW forum that you go on is some guy, you know, with like 6 achievement points or whatever, is telling you to get the fuck out and be a real player. You got to be careful. And then some guy from like, I don't know, some mega guild comes in with his Shah of heroic progression, and he's like, oh, you terrible. 5 out of 6 heroic. 5 out of 6 heroic is pretty good. I recently ran my character through the online EPing bot that compares your passes to the rest of the world, and realised that I'm in the bottom 25% of elemental shamans in raids. This whole time I've been blaming my gear and spec during DPS. I really want to progress to be the best, but I'm not sure how to do it. I applied to the top guilds on my realm as soon as I cleared normal mode Dragon Soul, which was which are world rank 10 and 21. Lol. What? I don't know. And I was declined. I've pretty much burnt all my bridges on this realm except for my current guild. I'd love to be in a guild like the ones you described, kicking ass and taking names. I just don't know how to improve. I was thinking about starting fresh in another realm and learning to play again, maybe re-rolling a new class, as I know that I suck at my shaman. What are your thoughts? What should I do now? Okay, so the general gist of this story is that for a long time, you've got a guy who may be like yourselves, who blamed gear on a lack of being topping the DPS, not getting world first ranks or even in the world hundreds or whatever, and you didn't get any ranks, and you blamed your gear and lack of progression. You're in a normal mode guild. How could I be expected to win the DPS meters when I'm just in a normal mode guild, right? All that kind of stuff. And then ended up in a heroic guild and got really good gear and still was sucking balls. That's the realization that occurs, isn't it? That's the realization when you're like, shit, it's not because of my gear, it's because I'm not playing well. Fuck. What the hell do I do now? I haven't got anything to blame it on. It's a really good moment, by the way. It's a really, really good moment is when you realize you have a lot to learn. But what do you do with that information? It happened to me. I've told this story many times. When I moved on from my guild that I was the raid leader in, I had an easy fucking life. It was easy. I was a tank. I told you, tanking against shit DPS isn't much of a fucking thing to do. And I always thought my threat is amazing. I am the best. This is when a threat mattered. Who remembers that, right? Playing well? Fuck me. Just press shield barrier and GG. And so it's like, it's one of those moments where you realise you fucking suck. You do. You're just nowhere near as good as you think you are. And it's a haunting, daunting thing. It really fucks you up for a little while. And there's a couple of things you can do. You can run away from it. It kind of seems the easiest. A, you're looking for another excuse. Okay, I'm directing this at the author as well. And anybody who's in this situation, you're looking for another excuse. Your excuse now is you're not very good at that class. Okay? Let me tell you something. Rerolling isn't going to do fuck all for you at all. Rerolling won't do anything. It won't. If you have played this class for such a consistent amount of time, since patch 4.3 till now, and are terrible in good gear, re-rolling isn't going to do anything for you. It's really not. You're just trying to look for another avenue of escape from the realization. The realization, of course, is that you have a lot to learn. So what do you do now? You find out what the problem is. Now, that's the hard part. But this is what you should do. It's what I did. I found out what my problem was. I was too slow. I wasn't fast enough. I didn't give enough of a fuck about Sunder Armor. This is serious stuff that I started writing down. Like, I noticed that when Erebus, who was my main tank, who was the main tank, got mobs, everything was sundered to death. And people were like, Erebus sunders everything. Why aren't you doing it? I ran a 5-man with him where he had cleared the whole instance in about 6 seconds. Before I'd even drawn my weapon, motherfuckers at the end of the instance tanking the last boss. And I'm like, I tank fast. Or so I thought, right? Until I saw this guy doing this thing. It's all easy until you get into a real environment. What you need to do is find out the problems. There's a couple of ways of doing that. One is to send me a video of you playing. It's not easy to do, I know, but I will do a workshop for you. I'm glad to do that. I will do that for any one of my subscribers. You send me a video of you playing, I will do a workshop on it. No worries. I'll spend an hour. I'll go through your video with a fine-tooth comb and find out anything that I can help you with. The other idea is to watch a lot of shamans play their class. And you don't watch the boss. This is one of the big mistakes so many people make, is that they get a video of their class playing and they watch the DPS meter and the fucking boss. Hey, who gives a shit about the boss? What fucking buttons is this guy pressing? And when is he pressing them? What is he doing different? Oh, I was using that spell. What is he pressing? Huh? That's what you need to be looking at. So there's 2 things for you to do there. Don't re-roll. It won't help you. All it will delay you getting back to the same position. You'll re-roll. You'll spend a month or so probably chilling out, leveling an alt. You're not raiding, taking your time, or power level to heroics. Then look for another guild. Then get gear. You're talking months of time, and then you'll go, well, maybe I need to re-roll again. This class isn't for me. Don't do that. You've got a good character. Work on it. Really work on it. Look for the problems. Either send me a video, start watching other shamans, ask people questions, or send me specific things. I'll try and help you. I really will. Any questions before I go? I'm going to live stream a little bit of Mage action. I have to go out in about an hour, I believe. What time is it? It's 5:45. Yep, my phone's going crazy. Okay. Any questions? The monster I've saved since yesterday is saving me. It's like flat as fuck. If I haven't had any workshop video, so if you've sent me a workshop video, send it again, please. It's a monster from yesterday. It's flat as fuck, but I need the flavour. Okay, Reforged Light versus Ask Mr. Robot. Yes, I did come back from the bathroom and see this question from you, Delico. Okay. A lot of people asking me about add-ons that choose stuff for your character. Look, I know you're having active discussions, which one is best? In an ideal world, and Blizzard even openly admits this, there are far too many ways of fucking changing your gear. Reforging is kind of a fuck up. I'm serious. Reforging was amazing for the beginning. Then everything else happened. Glyphs, gemming, fucking various other bullshit. And it's equally back to the situation it used to be in. The problem was, why did Reforging come in the first place? Because Blizzard itemized items like a big pile of shit. They really did. Ask a tank who tanked the Sunwell with 4 hits. I don't mean 4%, I mean 4 hits. Shit like that. Stupid items that made no fucking sense whatsoever. and it just was retarded. So Reforging came in, and everybody rejoiced. We rejoiced in the fucking marvelousness of being able to pick our stats. Then, of course, everybody in World of Warcraft has to play supremely optimally. And therefore, things are born, like Reforged Light and Ask Mr. Robot, which tell you what you should do with your class. Let me tell you this, okay? End of story. I had this discussion on Skype about 10 minutes before I started the daily. I really did. I was talking to somebody who's just rolled a Warlock and was talking to me about it. When there is something simulated that gives you something like a 2%, not 2%, like a 20 or 200 DPS increase because you reforged minorly out of this stat, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. If you use Reforged Light and it's up to date, or you use Ask Mr. Robot and it's up to date, it doesn't fucking matter. In the least, whichever you use, because it will be close enough. Everything else is player error. No matter how much you think reforging 200 mastery from haste is going to shuffle your DPS, as long as it's not a haste cap for the smart asses out there, it isn't going to make that much fucking difference in the world. I've read, when I got my world first, I said this 10 minutes before on. When I got my world first, my Frost DK, there was a 100-page thread on a certain website telling me different fucking things that I needed to do with my DK, Emma, always Emma, in order to get the best out of it. You know what I did when I got my world first? I ignored all that and went balls to the wall and smashed everything I could while under DPS cooldowns and then just played smart in between. Ignored all this shit about you should monitor your Frost Strike for when it procs a rune so you can keep this rune on cooldown and you can do all this kind of other bullshit. All this stuff that people talk about on the simulation sites doesn't fucking matter in the least, okay? All you need to know is this. What's more powerful, haste or mastery? Right, I'll get more. That's it! Anything else than that comes down to you. Your playing skill will outdo most of that bullshit, believe me. And if there's something to be AoE'd, AoE it properly. If there's something to be single target it properly. I see endless discussions constantly about something that may or may not give a 200% DPS increase if you play this specific way perfectly. It's dog shit. Trust me. Personally, I use Reforged Light. Why? It's the most convenient. I go to the fucking Reforger, I select my spec, I say go, it does it for me. I couldn't give a shit past that. If I can't move out of fucking fire, or if I'm stood in some silencing beam, or I'm out of line of sight, or out of range, it costs me more DPS than whether I've got 20 more haste or 20 more fucking mastery. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. So don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Overthinking things really fucks you up when you're doing DPS. It seriously does. You need to know two things. Do I need to blow something up soon? Maybe I should save my DPS cooldown. Do I need to AoE soon? Where do I need to do it? Okay. Do I need to move soon? What will I do then? That's it. Simple as fuck. Really is as simple as that. Don't overthink it, because then you'll be like, well, should I press this button now or that button? Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Blow something up. Have fun with it. Don't worry about your gear that much. I'm pretty sure something's going to change on the gear front. Blizzard even openly said they're not happy with how much you have to mod gear. Needs enchanting, reforging, gemming. It's too much. And they openly said, I think the quote was pretty cool actually. It was something like, it used to be that when you picked up gear, you could put it on. And you can't do that now. You get a new super cool item, you can't equip it. There's too much work that needs to be done on it. It's not fun. It's not retarded. When I pick up a new weapon, I want to equip that sumbitch, slap an enchant on it, and I want to be good to go. That's it. So let's hope we return to that. Alright. You must transmog it. Yeah, if you team Ghost, you need to transmog it like a sir. Anything else? Anything else before I go? What do you think Blizzard can do to make tanking harder without nerfing threat? It was actually a minor discussion I had with Amon as well, actually. Amon's a Blood DK. He was talking about how much fun progression tanking is now, and I totally disagreed with him. I would like to see the removal of potential, of what I call X spell which kills you. I just don't like that. I don't like X breath you need a cooldown for. Anything that is designed in the fight where you need to blow a cooldown. I liked reactive tanking, and not reactive tanking in terms of have you got rage. It's reactive, right? I don't like that as reactive tanking. What I like is, can you press fucking shield wall because your health just suddenly dropped to 10% and you can't see that shit coming? That made a big difference in good and bad tanks. You could tell a clicker when you fought some boss that could fucking hit you so hard that you needed to blow a cooldown within half a second to survive, and you didn't know when it was coming. I like that. I really fucking like that. And I don't like just building rage and pressing a cooldown and keeping safe and all that. I don't like this is the big spell that kills you. I don't like that. It's boring. Okay, here comes the big spell. Kind of started in Ulduar, Steelbreaker. I think if you did the Iron Council Heroic or the Iron Council Hard mode, Steelbreaker was like that, and so was General Vezax. Just that's when they started with the big thing that could kill you, blow a cooldown now. It was kind of interesting at then. Now every boss has that, pretty much. Some big spell that can give you, prepare your cooldown. I think Threat needs to be back in the game. I really do. Threat needs to be back in the game. God bless Threat management and good tanks. But again, we can't really do that. This is one of the things I was talking about with the 25-man, is if we go back to the idea of Threat being difficult, we just lose a lot of tanks, because tanks struggle with Threat now. In this day and age, which they shouldn't do. Tanks struggle with Threat now. They do. I know on some heroic encounters, Threat can actually be a bit of a bitch at the beginning of the fight. That's fine. But in general, even in 5-mans, on my Mage, on a couple of heroics I did that weren't in the with the start guys, I pulled aggro on my Mage that could just get through the door consistently. And I don't like that, because that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. I would love to see Threat back. So, I'm done for today. Tomorrow, Drama Friday. Drama Friday tomorrow, ballers. So tune in tomorrow, Drama Friday. Gonna have a fucking great old time, alright, guys? So, I will see you tomorrow, 5 PM. And I'm going to stream in about 5 minutes on the other PC. It won't be on me. Alright, so I'll be back in 5 minutes. Laters.